All right. Hi, good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to Agile Network India, a leading thought leadership community. So, Agile Network India, we are very thankful to our founding sponsor, which is Innovation Roots. It is a leading consulting and training service provider, helping organizations to achieve business agility and beyond. It is one of the leaders and pioneers of niche publishing services and is well known for content collaboration with global thought leaders, authors, and creators. For more information, please visit www.innovationroots.com. We are also very thankful to our sponsor, Gile, which is a product offering from Tata Consultancy Services Limited. And it is a purely cloud-based enterprise agile planning tool with DevOps capabilities. Enterprises can use Gile to adopt agile practices or scale across multiple Scrum and Kanban teams using enterprise scaling frameworks such as SAFe, Disciplined Agile, Less and More. You can try out Gile for free for up to 20 users for 1 year by signing up at gile.io. Or you can also reach out to us for any inquiries or exclusive product demo. I'd encourage everyone to check out the Gile page on Agile Network India website for more information. And so moving further with our first session for the day, which is hosted by Kolkata chapter on ITSM frameworks coming of age, we have Basab and Sunanda.
Hey, thanks, Shreya. Welcome everyone to today's session. We have a very eventful day. Lot of sessions are lined up throughout the day from different locations, different agile chapters. So we start off with the Kolkata chapter today, and a very interesting topic to start off with to start off the day. So Basab Nandi, he's with us today, an accomplished ITSM professional. So he would be work, giving us a walkthrough of the IT service management framework and how it has transformed over the decades, right? So while Basab goes through the session, he will be covering it in about 40 minutes time. Participants, you can always put your questions on the chat box, and Basab will take up the questions towards the end of the session. Over to you, Basab.
Hi, thanks for the introduction. Let me get to the topic. So I'm getting into the IT service management frameworks. So, there's a small introduction of me. So I am more of an ITSM guy. Okay, though I have looked into, I have worked into the different aspects like consulting, program management, and I have done my PMP, Prince 2 ITL expert, and my journey began long back. So I worked with CMC, CATCG, which is a joint venture of CA and the Chatterjee Group, ITS Infotech, Mindtree, Ericsson, and right now I'm doing leadership consulting with ValueCare and my own startup, which is CARES Global, which is yet to take its roots. And talking a bit about the relevant things which I found may be interesting for this forum. I have gone into the ITM process implementation as a 20,000 standard implementation, agile development for a large data warehousing BI solution, and I have done a few of volunteering activities with PNI and ITSM zone. I'm a visiting faculty member of CDAC Noida, and my hobbies, as usual, include reading, scribbling, and music. Listening to music. So when I look at the key takeaways, it is the understanding of the scope of services, because we know what are services. Maybe the scope of services can be looked into more critically. The evolution and insights of ITSM framework, the collective principles of service framework. What is the different service frameworks we have, and what is the collective principles, the culture they provide, and ITSM, how it fits into the collective service framework. So more than that, I would also get into the context and the expectation level. Setting the expectation level, I would put like this. It's so we have the different service frameworks and how ITSM actually gets into, or rather how ITSM provides a collective framework in which the different framework, including the agile framework, culturally or in principle fits it. So I'm just putting the context setting first. So what is service? A service is a means of enabling value for the customers for their outcome. Without the customer getting into the specific cost and risk, like car is a product, Uber is a service, and we get into Uber, pay a fixed amount, and then we don't need to get into the petrol or risk of different penalty damages the car undergoes through it. So we are actually getting the value without getting into specific cost or any of the risk associated with it. The IT service management is a concept that enables the organization to maximize business value by the use of IT. So anywhere we provide the use of IT to the customer is in the context of IT service management. Now, service versus product, that's and always a thing, that what is service and what is a product. So when we put it as like we know the product, like a newspaper is a product, and here is a service, like we have the uh, the mobile service provider as a pure play service. Now within the newspaper there is a service component which is about providing the newspaper in correct time and in correct place. So there is a service part within the product, and as far as the in a service part, like the mobile services which we provide or which we get, we have the SIM card as a product within the service. Now in the real world, when things becomes more complex or more real life, the outcome is more of a mix of service within a product and a product within the service. So in ITSM, we use the word outcome more than the term product or service in many of the instances. So now the question comes in the IT service management, which we often are more known as ITIL, which is a specific framework of IT service management, and the industry often thinks it's not something for us. So I will get into a few specific things, few instances where the industry think that we may not be best fit for an ITSM framework. Like we are a product company and not services, but any product that we sell, it always comes with a service like a warranty support or post-warranty support, or even in the different customer interaction, we are using IT. Now we don't provide IT services to customer. So when we say we don't provide IT services to customer, we may be providing other services, or it may not be IT, but IT is part of that, because when you are sending an email, we are connecting the customer through a digital means. There is a service component, and customer satisfaction or value they get has a component which is dependent on the IT experience they get. So we are not even an IT company, so it's very similar. We are not IT company, and then, well, whether IT or non-IT, digital is part of most of organizations, medium or large. Now, ITSM is not for huge organizations. It may be just a small startup with an 8-member team. They are looking into the customer support. Now, IT service management is like a buffet which provides the entire framework. We can just pick and choose what is right for us. So, like if we just need the dessert or we just need the starters, it's right. Like maybe the small providers, they have the problem with the incident management, and maybe just understanding the value out of it, aligning with that incident management makes more sense than even looking into the entire portfolio of its recommendations. Even if we outsource our services, the IT services, to some other organization who is providing through us, the customer is looking towards us when through the customer experience. So we need to manage the vendors, keeping the values we provide, being aware of the values and the quality. So we must be aware of the framework. Even big organizations, the global leaders, they are complying with many other standards, best practices. Again, when they are providing services or specifically IT services, they must be aware of ITSM framework, and they also must be aware that it's not something very different. It's just what they are using, that is just trying to find out whether it aligns with the larger framework. Now, when I say a framework is just a supporting structure, okay, with which is a collection of rules, the beliefs, and that provides the best practice of doing providing a particular kind of service. So framework typically contains the context, like here we are talking about IT services, process, how to do things, the guidance, how to do things in such a way, and what values we actually trying to provide to the customer, the vocabulary, the languages we use, then the ITTO integration, that is the input output tools and techniques. This is very important because framework is more of a concept, and when it integrates to the tool, to the inputs and outputs with other framework, with the people, it actually has a visibility, and it actually works through the ITTO integration. And culture is how it aligns with the behavior of the people, which is a derivative from the principles. Getting a bit into the history of the ITSM or ITIL, the ITIL started actually in UK, okay, where the UK government almost made it a mandate for the government organizations in the service sector to follow framework. The framework was defined and created based on the best practices in the industry, specifically in the defense industry. Then it becomes more global, more popular, and then but it was just a set of processes which we all were aware of, like incident management, capacity management, blah. Now life cycle and aspects and the continuous service improvement was provided in the third version, and then there was a minor upgrade as ITIL 2011, and then came ITIL 4, which is something where we are using it. Has reached the coming of age, because coming of age is defined as something when we reaches an important stage of development and is accepted by a large number of people. There were other versions as well. They are more or less based on ITIL principles and for specific use, like MOF was more for the Microsoft, and then ITSM is a very lightweight standard. And one of the two things which we should look into is the ISO 20000, specific the ISO 20000, which is actually a standard which we must follow, and where we get a certification. So ITIL or ITSM is a framework, a collection of best practice which we pick and choose, and ISO 20000 is a certification which defines whether we are following the prescribed principles of ISO 20000 of IT service management. Now, the next we are looking into the frameworks and the principle. Within the service framework, more of IT, but it is also applicable beyond IT, is definitely the ITSM, the DevOps, the Agile, the Kanban, from the Lean family, design thinking, project management, PMI, and also Prince2 comes into that. That provides us something to do with the IT outcome. So, as I said, these framework and few others provide for a good IT outcome, which in turn provides a value to the customer. So I have almost interchangeably used the term principles and guidance and culture, because principles sometimes are very specific for a particular framework, and culture is a derivative from principles which flows around the industry, which actually the people adopt. So the collective principles we have from all these different frameworks, and these are all frameworks which I mentioned in the previous slide, except for ITSM. So these are not the principles from ITSM, but from all other frameworks. And if you look at this list, you will find that most of them, in a different word, is a paraphrased version of Agile, DevOps combined. So all the 12 principles of Agile are covered here. May not be in same words. Now we are getting into ITSM and the concept. So we have found the collective principles, and now we are, so these collective principles is something like Agile plus plus, because Agile is a very strong in its principles, and this is based on more on the principles created out of the Agile manifesto. And we are now looking into that the principles which we have defined are actually how much they are true for ITSM, and how ITSM fits into this culture, into this principle, and whether it is worth looking while we are looking into an agile way of working. Though agile is more towards project management, and ITSM is more towards service operations, but now ITL in this version 4 is into the entire life cycle. So ITSM is, which is almost now synonymous with ITIL, because ITIL framework is the only frameworks which are matured and accepted globally. So ITSM and ITIL 4 are almost synonymous, and it has developed from being an IT service management framework to an IT outcome management framework, and is more of outcome and less of IT. So when you are managing any outcome, you can actually look forward to from the ITIL4 framework. So this framework is applicable both from the services, any IT services, typically a service provider providing IT services for an organization looking into or managing its IT resources, to like what is very relevant today, like the manufacture of the vaccine. So it is very much applicable. the same framework. Whenever we find that there is a wherever we find that we can actually there is a business outcome which is a repeatable outcome, is somewhere we actually can put the ITSM principles. So when I talk about of the ITSM, one of the at the core of it is something called service value chain. So service value chain is the central element, okay, where we turn a demand into a value. So product and services becomes the outcome, and we actually turn the demand into a value. So the principles that it uses is actually into the co-create, user empathy, touch point, and communication. So one of the core things is about co-creation. So we create an outcome, a service, by involving the users, the other stakeholders, so that, and then we also go to the users, their way of working, what they want, and we have a touch base of often with the users, the customers, with a constant communication, and we provide, and the central element is about the value and the value stream. Like one of the examples I often give why user empathy is so important. There was a software which worked perfectly. It was accepted by the customer. The problem was that at the end, the user found their screens. The users were using the greenscape screens, the typical IBM screens, and suddenly they found it's too much contrast, too much colorful, and they were actually they could not sit in front of the screen for too long. So we met with the specification, but we somewhere lost the user empathy. Now within this service value chain, at the central part is somewhere called the service value chain. So where we actually look into the turning the opportunities into the value. Now, as I said earlier, it is about aligning the business. One of the core principles or the culture where we actually use here is aligning the business, technology, and culture. While we look at the framework, we get a more light on the ITSM framework. We have something, the service value chain. We have the practices, which is the collection of the different processes. Definitely governance. Then we have the guiding principles, which provide the guides or more of the principles what I was talking about. And definitely there is something called continuous improvement, and we often actually miss this continual improvement part. We are also something called the four dimensions, which represent the environmental perspective, as well as the components that affects the value to the customer, which is the organization people, the information technology, the value stream, and the partners and suppliers. And definitely the factors like the political, economic, social, environmental, legal factors. And one of the area I have personally seen where people struggle a lot is is the partners and suppliers. Everything is going fine, but when we are our dependent on the partner and suppliers are there, we somewhere fail because we don't take them as a very important stakeholders. It's like we develop the whole solution, the whole business, the whole value, and then we provide just a set of requirements to the partners. We have to supply that. They are not even aware that what it will be used and how it will be utilized. So they don't have a say. And then there is often an expectation gap. The governance, we are already aware of that. That governance is all to do with monitoring, evaluation, and provide a direction for making the steer that everything is going to the right path. And there where the our being responsible, collaborative, and committal is very important, because I have seen a lot of uh, organizations actually fails a framework implementation, a process implementation, even a tool implementation, because there is a lack of management commitment. And CSI is all about the service improvement, and we do it a continual service improvement. At any point, we may get an input for something not working fine. There is a market change, and change is something these days extremely important. We have seen this pandemic, the whole thing from the offline services have gone into online services. There is a lot of need for educating the partners, the users, of getting into the internet mode, and then the getting into managing the disasters, which is extremely important. One of the areas I have provided the consulting, that a typical area I would say is, like, we know we have an SLA, we have an understanding with the customer that what are the expectation from them of what kind of level of services we would provide. But in case of a disaster, there is a reduced level of provisioning of critical services, and in most cases this is never defined. When there is a disaster, there is no separate SLA, no separate commitments to see. Even in disaster, we would provide the most important services like our mobile connection. Even in disaster, one can at least send, make a voice call. In extreme disaster, we can at least go through the emergency numbers, which even if the validity of services of nothing is there, still we can reach the emergency numbers. So this kind of understanding of services, of service level in a condition of disaster is lacking, which is very well covered by this ITSM framework, and definitely eliminating waste, having the right KPIs, and because unless we have the right KPI, we can't have the right improvement, like how much the SLAs have perfected, how much SLAs we have met is a very trivial KPI. The more important KPI is more like, are the customers happy? Are they ready to recommend our services to another party? So that is more important KPI, because emotionally customers should be more happy than numbers. And then the guiding principle, as I said, is more important from the point of view of the culture it provides, and guiding principles is what it actually does to the entire ecosystem. So we have the guiding principles. The first one is focusing on the value. It's not on the customer. It is not on the product or services or even on the outcome, but what value customer are providing. Even if the specification are met, whether customer is getting the value of what they need, not what they have asked for. The second is about start where you are. So we need to understand what to carry forward and what we need to leave behind while we are standing here. As we progress forward, we need to understand what we actually should carry and what we leave behind. The third is about we need to have iterative progress. The kind of it's typical the agile essence with the feedback. We get the feedback, improve, and we progress very iteratively. The next one with the collaboration and promoting visibility. So we actually collaborate with the entire ecosystem, with the customer, with the vendors, with different stakeholders, and then it's not something very visible. We need to have the transparency, and we need to think very holistically, because we just can't work on a particular piece of service. It's about understanding how this service is actually going to add our value as well as the value to the customer in its totality. We need to.
One second, you need to adjust your camera. We are not able to see you properly.
Right now, are you able to see it? Because I am not able to.
Yeah. Better.
Yeah. I am not able to see me actually. Thank you. And then definitely keeping it very simple, and then one of the key areas where ITIL provides a lot of focus is about the optimization and the automation. Automation is somewhere other frameworks don't focus much on. So when we have something to do, we try to the process, the way of working, we optimize it. So we make it simple, we make it shorter, and then we try to make it, which is a repeatable thing, we automate it. So it's become much easier to do it efficiently every time, and that's where the guiding principles is all about. Can I, if you don't mind, I lost the track of the time. So how much time has elapsed?
We have 5 more minutes. Then
5 more minutes, Basab. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Out of the 40 minutes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if I look at the synopsis of ITSM, is about the outcome and value. So putting it all down to a single slide, outcome is the combination of product and service, and we look forward how that actually adds value to the customer. ITSM is something vendor agnostic. So it has nothing to do with vendor, nothing to do with the technology in use. It's very inclusive and throughout. So when I say inclusive, it can include into other frameworks, the agile, the DevOps, and throughout means in any of the areas of service management it can fit in, and it actuates a culture. So the IT is more like the when we say the agile way of doing things, and very similar, it's the ITSM ways of doing things. But only that that word is not too popular, but it actually has a very matured and inclusive culture. So that's more or less bring us to the end of my presentation. And I just mentioned about the because this ITL4 competency path is something important here, because we are talking about how we actually get ourselves matured in the understanding or knowledge of ITL from the certification point of view. Is about the first part is the ITL for foundation, the basic. Then there are other parts which are specialist certification, the like the create, deliver, and support, drive stakeholder value, high velocity IT, which is extremely interesting that in the digital world, how we can actually get at a high velocity, we actually can measure in the industry for digital industry, putting the ITIL ways of doing things, and definitely direct plan and improve the the digital and IT strategy. I personally have done the ITIL foundation at version 2, and then the ITL expert at version 3, and then I have got ITL managing professional at version 4. So I just need to go forward. I need to complete one more certification, that is digital and IT strategy. So right now I'm a IT managing professional, and then the ITL masters is more of a project, a long term project by which the ITL masters is provided. In ITL version 4, the masters certification is still not defined how it will be done. That's the essence of the presentation. And the future goal, what I look forward to the ITSM is to have a very simple, affordable, but because ITSM or ITL is still not very affordable, so it should be simple, affordable, and implementable, unified framework. There can be a single framework with add-ons like the Agile add-on, the service management add-on, the DevOps add-on, which can be put across the industry, the services industry, with a common vocabulary, with a common culture. So that we can improve the industry ecosystem, because it's like we try to help us, we try to help our customers, and we try to help our vendors. The whole ecosystem should get a value through each of our actions. And then the questions, if you want, come up with any questions, please.
Thank you, Basaf, for a very, very informative session. Right, so there are few questions. I think let's start off with the questions on the certification, since you just right now talked about certification, right? So we have two questions from Radha Krishnan. He is asking, can you please specify the basic ITIL and ITSM certifications? Are these separate?
I didn't get it there. No, there is nothing called ITSM certificate. There is ITIL certification, because ITSM is more of the IT service management. So, an ITIL foundation is the basic ITSM certification. As I said earlier, there are other frameworks as well, like MOF, various, but these are not at all popular. So the only popular certification is ITIL. The first certification is ITIL Foundation.
Hey, thanks, Basa, for that. Radhakrishnan, hope that clarifies your question. And if you see on the screen that the slide is already, talking about all the different certifications, and ITIL Foundation is the basic one.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah.
definitely anyone can reach me directly for any more clarification, more help on that. That's is good. I mean, I'm always open to that.
Thanks, Basa, for that. There is also one comment regarding continual improvement, right? So you talked about how the continual improvement is extremely important. So there is a comment from RC Goel, right? So he is saying that retroactivity is supposed to address the continual improvement part of it, right? So you want to just touch upon that a little bit?
Yeah, come again. I didn't get you.
Yeah, he is saying retroactivity, right? So should address the need to improve continually, right? So any other means other than this that you suggest for continuous improvement in an ITL process?
Yeah, see, there is the continuous service improvement is not a independent set of processes. Okay, it is the way of working. So when I say that I face a particular issue while doing any work, okay, so maybe I should get into one more. Okay, this small slide, this particular slide, if you look at the left and bottom corner, there is uh, this picture, okay, of ITIL, the service. The inside is the service design, the service strategy, the service design, service transition, service op operations. So anywhere we get stuck, get a value. So there's something called a CSI register. Anybody finds that something can be improved, it gets into that, the process, and actually make it visits the whole cycle, and we get something better into that. So coming to a particular example, like I have a particular thing which I have faced is that everything was working great, but the only thing is that the customer feedback was not doing great. Okay, we were not able to catch the right feedback from the customer. So that is what was found by the service operations team. So that went into the strategy cycle. So strategically, how we can use that, how we can design a better feedback, how can we put in place to service transition, and then it went into the service operations. So any trigger for any improvement can happen at any time, and it will be suitably visited and incorporated in the entire cycle. Does that satisfy?
Right.
Does that answer my question?
Yeah, Basab. So as you rightly put, any trigger at any point in time can actually, bring in the improvement, right? So anything to do with the incident management, problem management, it is a continuous process, and the trigger might come up in anywhere in the circle, right? So very rightly pointed out. I have one question for you, Basab. So this is really a very interesting topic because we often see this question coming up in different forums, like very generic question that does this ITIL or ITSM, can it ever exist with Agile, right? So now this entire session, you have already shown how it has evolved, right?
Yeah.
My question to you is, in general, my understanding is that ITIL processes, standards, framework, it generally requires a lot of documentation in the process, correct? Now, as we know from the Agile mindset, from the Agile viewpoint, documentation is really not a priority, right? So how do you balance this in a
Right.
typical program scenario?
See, first, we must be aware that there is a difference between ITIL or ITSM framework, implementation of the framework, and implementation of a standard called ISO 20000. Right? ISO 20000 asks for a lot of documentation. ITIL never asks for, especially the version 4 will never ask for a lot of documentation. The basic documentation what is needed as far as it does not say you need to have this document or you don't need to have this document. It only says that you need to have the right KPIs. You should able you decide your own KPIs, your own metrics. You keep a track of that to improve your way of working. So if you think that only these 5 KPIs are sufficient for me to provide a progressively improving service, that's fine. ITIL 4 never says that you must have these 20 documents.
Great, fantastic. Thank you for that clarification.
I will add,
Measuring through the KPI.
yeah. So I will add another word that due
Mhm.
to the lack of ISO 20000 earlier, people have almost taken the ITIL framework that these are the things we must follow end to end. No, it's only, as I said, it's only a buffet. So whatever you need, you take it, and whatever you don't need, you don't take it. So it's very simple. I can
Fantastic.
even,
Plug and play as per your requirement, right? So, and
yeah,
you really don't
yeah.
need to follow the entire 9 years. Take up whatever you want, whatever suits your business, and measure it through the KPIs.
Yeah, there is
Perfect.
nothing called ITL compliance. The concept some people use, but it's wrong. You can't have a compliance with a good way of working. You can follow that,
Correct.
or you cannot follow that. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. Any other
Thank you.
questions?
Basit, there are a couple of more questions here. There is one question on managed services. How is managed services uh, manages managed using agile way of working? So, basically asking agile practices in a managed service environment.
See, I agile, as much as I understand, is more about the project management, right? Agile is not typically for an operations kind of work. So that is what actually ITSM puts an operations extension to the agile. Are you getting me? Does it
Yep.
sounds? Yeah. So it
Mhm.
provides a, because agile is more from the project management point of view. Project management is typically the something when we create something time bound and something unique. That is how project is defined. Now, doing something operationally same thing one after the other is what the operations part is, and it is by design unending. So that is the operation part. So if I look at ITSM, it is the extension of agile in an operations environment.
Thank you, Basa, for that explanation. There is one last question. Maybe if you can just take a minute to answer this. We are already at the top of the hour. So this
Right.
question is from Priyank. He is asking, as an agile professional, we sometimes see other frameworks as old school. Is there a real benefit you would like to highlight to validate this assumption?
Yeah, okay. ITIL basically, if we look at the ITIL 4, it actually it it accommodated it. There was a jump from ITIL 3 to ITIL 4, and it has accommodated different other frameworks like Agile, DevOps. Okay, now Agile never incorporated ITIL principles, but ITIL 4 actually accommodated all the different frameworks. So it comes as, I won't say more mature, but it's more modern, that point of view, because it has accommodated all of them, worked on it for a couple of years and came up with another framework.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Basab. I think that brings us to the end of all the questions here, and a very, very informative session from you. And very, you have crisply summarized the entire process and how it aligns with the agile mindset. Thank you for that. And I know you are not 100%, so wish you speedy recovery.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Over
Basav,
to
and thank
you.
you so much, Ananda. Thank you, Basav. It was definitely an extremely informative session.